Good morning, everybody. I think I should start off with some disclaimers. First on the list is that whilst I used to work for Discovery Health, I will not be taking any inquiries on outstanding claims. I left that job 3 years ago. I should also make another disclaimer. As I was driving into the campus this morning, it was just an amazing feeling, perhaps of nostalgia. I haven't been on campus for some time, and of course, I was last on stage here about 20 years ago now, and it was just a great feeling to be able to come up the campus this morning. One of the things, of course, is that I was looking around and I saw Leo Marquardt. I stayed at Marquardt for about 4 years. I saw Forest Hill on our way up, and of course, I saw Rhodes Memorial. And as we were driving through, I was looking out for the Rhodes statue, and I couldn't find it this morning. And then it occurred to me that this is the generation this is the fees must fall generation, and that the statue no longer is here. I have to make a confession that when we were here, and I came to UCT in 1995, so you can imagine that it was a different time. When we were here, we were just glad to be here. And unlike this generation that has been quite aggressive, and I want to salute that generation of fees must fall. Vice-Chancellor, actually our generation perpetuated the TBVC states. So at Marquardt we had a homeland system. So when you went into the dining hall, you'll find the Xhosas together, you'll find the Tswanas together, and the vendors were eating together. So we had our own homeland system even at Marquardt. Let me make another disclaimer that I had planned, and honestly I had planned that by the end of this decade, I would have done another degree, and I would be able to come back to UCT and walk on the stage. And of course, thanks to the Vice-Chancellor, I'm back on the stage, but I'm not having a degree. But I think I now have another 10 years to do that degree. So at least I've ended this decade having been on the stage. That was the goal. Allow me to acknowledge the Vice-Chancellor, Prof. Mamokgethi Phakeng, the UCT Council members, UCT Executive, SRC representative, academic staff that are represented here. I must say, when I looked at the academic staff, I could only recognize 2 people, Professor Graham Lowe. And Professor Graham Lowe is a legend, you know. He's an absolute legend. And the other person that I recognized was Professor Cynthia Sikakane. And I did make the confession earlier that unfortunately I cannot remember any of the other people in the academic staff. But I think it's because after first year of attending biochemistry and second year of attending anatomy, after that I did not attend many lectures. Past staff, graduating students, parents, ladies and gentlemen. Let me also congratulate the latest crop of healthcare professionals that are being honored today. I congratulate you for your hard work and salute your families and friends who have supported you through the years. As this chapter of your academic career closes, we are also nearing the end of another calendar year and getting ready to wrap up the second decade of the 21st century. It is therefore a good time to pause and reflect on the year that has just gone by. For our beloved country, this has certainly been a very challenging year. Throughout the year, we have been bombarded by depressing news of an ailing economy. Our state-owned enterprises have made headlines for all the wrong reasons. Experiencing load shedding in the middle of summer, which extended to stage 6 for the first time, was a new low for the country. Considering the troubles at SAA, PRASA, and the like, it will appear that we are fast running out of runway with no light at the end of the tunnel. As if these man-made troubles were not enough, the country has been dealing with the devastating consequences of the drought that has left rivers dry, grazing lands parched, and livestock wasted. I have family members in the Eastern Cape whose water taps have gone dry since the drought. We have also seen and heard of heart-wrenching stories of violent crimes in our country, the likes of the case of Ramabulana in Limpopo recently, 4 children who were killed by their own father in KZN, and of course here at UCT, UCT was brought into the spotlight following the murder of Uyine and Mkhwetyane. On the career front, you will be entering a public health sector that is grossly under-resourced and overburdened. You will be stretched with what at times will feel like is beyond the realm of human capabilities. You are also entering the field shortly after the publication of the National Health Insurance Bill and the final report of the Health Market Inquiry. These are long-awaited policy documents that, if implemented, will lead to fundamental changes in how healthcare is structured and funded in the country. In the last few weeks, we have seen unprecedented developments in our country, as for the first time, an obstetrician in Mpumalanga has been imprisoned, and a pediatric surgeon and an anesthesiologist were charged with culpable homicide following alleged medical negligence. This is the world you are entering in 2020. Yet, in the midst of this gloom and doom, we also have reasons to celebrate, as many hard-working health professionals continue to defy the odds, providing healthcare to our communities under the most strenuous circumstances. Some of these outstanding individuals are seated with us today. At an economic level, we are also seeing a reinvigoration of the key state institutions and policy shifts that are aimed at getting the economy going again. The country recently hosted the second round of the annual SA Investment Conference, which saw additional investment commitments of close to 400 billion in various industries. In May 2019, we also witnessed another smooth political transition with the 6th national and provincial elections. We must never take this for granted, given Africa's history. On the sporting front, we also experienced a strong wave of euphoria and patriotism take over the country following a successful campaign that the national team had at the Rugby World Cup. Of course, the crowning of Zozibini as Miss Universe only 2 weeks ago, watching her dominate at a global platform, it's just been phenomenal. As a country, we have moved from extremes of agony and anguish to extremes of celebration and elation. Ours is a country of perpetual extremes, extremes of poverty, but also extremes of wealth. In the political arena, we have both the extreme right and the extreme left. I am tempted to look behind me, but I will not. At an individual level, we also live our lives constantly navigating opposing extremes. One day we wake up ready to conquer the world, and on another day we are dreading the very thought of the day ahead. In one moment we are praying for rain, and in another we watch in despair as scores are left homeless following flash floods. We move between having and not having, getting and not getting, promoted and overlooked, loved and unloved, accepted and rejected. These are the vicissitudes of life we need to contend with daily, taking both the highs and the lows, celebrating success whilst using temporary setbacks to recalibrate, only to charge forward again. For stars shine the brightest when they are up against the blackness of the night sky. We are on top of our game when we can deal with both the ups and the downs, the mountains and the valleys. For life consists of triumphs that come wrapped up in trials. To get to the triumph, you must go through the trial. The journey of a pregnant woman is a phenomenon that we are familiar with, that embodies and articulates these extremes of life very well. While pregnancy is a journey of expectation and growth, it is characterized by aches and pains from the first to the third trimester. Headaches, backaches, abdominal pains, as the growing baby places increasing demands on the expectant mother. In the labor ward, the baby goes through extremes of flexion and extension and extremes of internal and external rotation. You can see that I attended that lecture properly. I remember that. I must say, you know, one of the things I've learned, and they didn't explain my MBA. My MBA is Masters by Association. So every time I have a friend who graduates, I master by association. So that's why afterwards I'll be going for that gentleman who is pursuing that PhD in crystallography in the field of polymorphism. He's going to be my friend. For many women, in the process of giving birth, they are literally caught up between life and death. To help them understand, anticipate, and successfully manage these extremes, most women, they employ the services of a midwife. And as you go into the next phase of your lives, I want to suggest to you to secure yourself at least one person who you can rely on as a midwife, commonly known as a mentor. You will achieve more faster in the company of a midwife. All things being equal, mentors are what determine whether you will slowly climb up the career ladder in a predictable fashion or be amongst those who seemingly jump the queue on their way to success. For it is a mentor who helps to crystallize and shape your vision of the future, even as the midwife does for the expectant mother in those first few weeks of pregnancy. It is a mentor who affirms you during those critical moments of vulnerability and doubt. When you feel defeated, down and out, it is your mentor who will help breathe new life into your dream. Now that you have acquired a professional skill to take to the field and that your talent has been sharpened for the market, it is a midwife who will provide the platform for your gift to be brought forth and shine. And I can tell you that there are lots of people who are gifted and talented, but they lack the platform for their own gifts to shine. It is a midwife who will see the first signs of your baby's readiness to come out. It is your midwife who will point out the first signs of emerging greatness. For we rely on those closest to us to confirm the external signs of what we feel on the inside. Ladies and gentlemen, it is really at the height and the extremes of the labor pains that the midwife becomes so desperately needed, faced with increasing intensity and frequency of the contractions that are necessary to get the baby out. It is your mentor who will guide you on when and how to push. Ignoring your midwife at this critical stage, the moment of birthing your dream, can lead to permanent damage and fatal consequences for both you and your most important aspirations in life. And just as you transition from one phase of life to another, being a student into working environment, from being junior to being senior, from being single to being married, it is the midwife who will help cut the umbilical cord so that what fed you inside doesn't snuff the life out of you once you are outside. And of course, whilst you are the one who is responsible to carry the baby for those 9 months, it is a midwife, your mentor, your coach, close family and friends who will help you to carry and cover that baby in those first few moments after birth as you recover from the punches that life will throw at you in the process of giving birth. I would like to pay tribute to the mentors in the room, the midwives in the room, who have helped you navigate the difficult years of being at medical school. In particular, I would like to acknowledge the Vice-Chancellor for her leadership at this great institution. Ma'am, there is a reason that many call you the Deputy Mother of the nation. You have been that midwife to thousands of people, including some who have never seen the doors of a university. Hearty congratulations again to all of you for what you have achieved so far. I look forward to seeing you in the field as we strengthen our country's health system. It's now your time to push. Thank you.